Budget 2026 has just been published, and I think I'm the only person that's spotted what's going on. Mainstream media tend to focus on trivial items like the price of cigarettes and alcohol, but they're pretty irrelevant. In order to figure out what's going on, you got to read the documents yourself. This is the 2026 Expenditure Report, a 300-page technical document that goes through department by department, line by line, how all of our money is being spent. This is the Department of Justice, Home Affairs and Migration. As you can see, they get given 5.7 billion euros a year, and this is how they spend it. 2.7 of it is going to migration. Now, before we go any further, we need to remind ourselves that over the last couple of weeks, the media have been having a field day reporting on the levels of government waste and spending and negligence and fraud in the IPAS system. That's all because of this report from the government's own Comptroller and Auditor General that set out very clearly in the government's own words how there is so much fraud, waste and abuse in this system. So much so that even yesterday the Irish Times came out and called it a wild west. We've been saying that here for about 2 years now. Sorts of TDs from across the country are now coming out and jumping on our bandwagon. Choo choo, welcome aboard. So back to the matter at hand. When we dig into the middle of this 300-page report, there is one sentence that is buried deep, but once read, it sticks out like a sore thumb. It reads, 1.6 billion euros is being allocated in a contingency fund across international protection processing, international protection accommodation, and Ukrainian accommodation for 2026. 1.6 billion in a contingency fund. Why is this being buried? This money is being put aside to pay for the implementation of the EU Migration Pact. This is a briefing memo that the Department of Justice put out earlier in the year. This document clearly sets out the implementation strategy and the projected costings of the EU Migration Pact. It estimates over 875 million and makes this stark warning, which says that in addition to these costs, it must be acknowledged that in the short term, the cost to the state in relation to the EU Migration Pact will increase as two parallel legislative systems will need to operate for some time. Alarm bells should be going in your head. Let's remind ourselves that the EU Migration Pact nobody wants. Poland don't want it, Denmark don't want it, Hungary don't want it, even the Irish human rights NGOs don't want it. But yet here we are, reserving 1.6 billion euros all for the EU Migration Pact. I don't know anyone in the country who wants this. Do you?